Calibrating cybernetics.
Talk to him now.
AT, Andre.
Come on, Dre.
Yep. Trippin with Let's Go.
Woo!
Trippin with Theobold.
What's your name?
Theo so bold.
Yeah.
Driggity. Let's go. Trippin with Theobold. Trippin.
What are we doing?
Trippin with Theobold.
Come on, Dre.
Mic check, we on? Hey, what's going on, y'all? And welcome to the 46th episode of Trippin with Theobold. I'm your host, Andre Theobold. Let's go ahead and get right on into it. Before we go any further, make sure you guys follow my socials. You know, it's AT is where it's at on most forms of social media, so follow me. But anyways, excuse me. As y'all can see, I'm in my kitchen. And shit. And stuff. I didn't cuss YouTube. That wasn't. Come on, Dre. I didn't cuss. That was I'm not quite at the 2-minute mark yet, so I know I got to get my 2 minutes so I can talk free. But anywho, welcome to the show. Had a little bumpy start, but whatever. So as you guys know, this is the 46th episode of Trippin with Theobold, and me being the Buffalo Bills fan that I am, you know that I have to link the episode number to a Buffalo Bill player. And today's episode is linked to none other than Leonard Smith, 46. So my apologies for last week. Last week I thought that Leonard Smith was number 47, but he wore number 46. So my bad for that, guys. My bad. He wore number 46. And he's probably one of my favorite low-key, unsung Buffalo Bills, man. You know, because he was known for his haircuts. You know, like I knew him more for his haircuts than his play on the field. You know, I was a youngin' too back then, so I probably wasn't following like I should have. But nah, man. See, he got the Mickey Mouse shape up. See that Mickey Mouse? But anywho, he had he's known for all these like crazy haircuts, man. Like he was like the first player in the NFL that I saw like carve like the logos in his head, you know. So see at the top right, he had the Buffalo Bill like carved out on the side of his shape up, and in the back he had Bill. So he was like known for his shape ups and his haircuts, you know. Now this episode is tied to number 46, Leonard Smith. And in Super Bowl 26, when the Bills lost to the Commanders or they were the Redskins, now the Commanders, he slipped on some ice before the Super Bowl, because the Super Bowl was in Minneapolis. It was in Minnesota. It was in the Metrodome. And, you know, Minneapolis has, what's the word I'm looking for? Has a lot of ice. It's real slippery out there. I don't know what's going on with my tooth, man. Something like right this second, I'm getting like a tingling feeling in my tooth. That's weird. Hopefully it goes away, you know, because I'm feeling good about this pod, and, you know, this is going to be a good episode, you know. So, anywho, today's episode is tied to none other than number 46, Leonard Smith of the Buffalo Bills. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and keep it moving, keep it pushing. Let's go and do some promo stuff. So here's some nerdy stuff here. Yay. Yeah, I got a new Kindle. I had to upgrade, you know. I didn't have to. If I would have troubleshat a little harder, you know, like troubleshooted. What's the past tense of troubleshoot? Is it troubleshat or troubleshooted? Anywho, if I would have worked my shit out a little bit more, I would have probably been able to still use my old Kindle, but I had a 6th generation Kindle, and now I'm on the 11th, so it's like I'm almost double the number in generations of Kindles. But here it is right here. So that's the Kindle right there. I'm showing you guys that. And then I got this wall new Kindle cover. So I feel like overall, so let me just go ahead and evaluate the Kindle, right? So the Kindle is a little bigger. The 11th generation is like a little bigger. It's still kind of like laggy. Like it still has the same, like I thought it would be quicker. You know, it wouldn't be as laggy as the 6th generation. But I have 8 gigs of storage on here. And what else? What else is good? It's a bigger screen. So basically it's more screen than border or brim. Man, my tooth is really bothering me right now. Man, what's going on with my tooth? Man, that's weird. I floss and everything, brush my teeth. Damn. But what else? So the reason why I upgraded was because my old Kindle, my 6th generation Kindle, it basically like it wouldn't connect to my internet, right? So all my other devices could connect to the internet fine. And I tried rebooting my Kindle. I tried all these different things. I went online, troubleshotted it, or whatever you want to say. And my thing wouldn't connect. And I bought like 2 books, and like the books wouldn't download. So I'm like, yo, I'm not gonna buy a Kindle or buy books just for it not to download on my Kindle. So I went ahead and I ordered. I did an upgrade to my joint. You know what I'm saying? When I tried to connect this new Kindle to the internet, it had the same issue. So I had to reset my whole like router and my modem, and that takes about 15-20 minutes just to get my books to download. So come to find out, there was nothing really wrong with my old Kindle, but I think it was about time to upgrade anyway, because the value of my old Kindle was like at like $25 refurbished. So I was able to hand that back in, and then I get 25 off of this one. So I paid about $80 for this new Kindle. So you know me, I'm trying to get my read on. I'm trying to be a bigger reader. Not trying to, I am. Like I read a lot more than what I used to, you know. And I don't like physical books. I like to just have my stuff in one. You get the point. All right. So anywho, but let me go ahead and review the case for the Kindle though, right? So I got the it's called the Wall New Flip Case, and here's a picture of it. Let me go ahead and okay, you're looking at it right now. So when I got my first Kindle, like it's always funny, right? When I got my first Kindle, because I'm on my 3rd Kindle right now. So when I got my first one, it didn't have a backlight, right? So one of the things was I was like, man, I want to read at night, but I don't want to have to cut on a light to read. So right when I bought my first Kindle, that's when they came out with the Paperwhite with the backlight. So I was like, damn, you know. So traded that in after like a year or so, got the Paperwhite, you know, because now I can read in the dark, you know, got that. So it's always funny how you discover new problems whenever you have something, right? So a problem I had with my second Kindle, come on, Dre. The problem I had with my 2nd generation Kindle was like, I was like, if I tried to like lay down and read, it was hard to kind of hold it, because it's like my hands aren't that big, you know, and it's like it's weird, right? So I looked up this case, and this is a pretty smart case because it has a hand strap on it, right? So I can have my hand strap, and I'm sitting here reading. I can read up, but the problem is it flips. To me, in my opinion, it flips the wrong way, right? Like this is like I was hoping that I could open it like this, and then boom, but you see it doesn't do that, right? And it's upside down, right? So it would have been nice if they had it open the other way. But anywho, I think this is a good buy. I paid like $20 for this case. It's smart. It does what I need it to do, and hopefully I'm good for another 10 years. Because my 2nd generation Kindle, I had that for like 10 or more years. I had that for about 10, 12 years, I think. So enough. I think I spent enough time on that. That's way more time I wanted to spend on the Kindle, because that's not what today's show is about. What else do I want to promote? I want to promote real quick. I'm back to the fanny pack, man. This is it, man. Got me a fanny pack. You know, it's a little lighter, so like I wear it across my body. You know, I still got my other one in case I want to carry some bigger stuff, but this to me like gets the job done. And this is max top, so get you a max top. I think I paid like $10 for this. But yeah, it's a good little buy. Now, in big news, one thing I gotta promote, man. Oh man, this is one thing I definitely gotta promote right here, man. Shout out to one of my childhood acquaintances, DeWanda Wise. She has a lead role in the new Jurassic Park movie that's coming out tomorrow. So she's the black chick furthest to the left, right? So she's like on the movie poster, which is dope, man. I'm like, wow, you know. Let me see what else. I got some more pictures up here of DeWanda. So the reason why this is a big deal to me is because, like I said, I didn't know her personally, like as like a tight friend, but I met her a few times when I was like younger, you know, when we were like kids, you know. She lived about walking distance from my house, you know, and I knew her through the people that used to babysit me, you know. So there's a place in Laurel called High Ridge, you know, and High Ridge is like the nickname for where all the youngies used to go hang out at. And it's weird because it's like, it's not a formal name. I think it's like a nickname, but it's just called High Ridge, you know? So when you say High Ridge, you know where we're talking about. So I met DeWanda, I think I was like in the 6th grade, I think, or 7th grade, maybe. I was in middle school. And she was younger than me, but it was, I remember the day like it was yesterday. We went out to, so I went to private school. I went to school in Tacoma Park. And what happened, man? It was the last day of school because like school let out, you know. So when school let out, man, that was like the best day. Like to me, the last day of school was better than Christmas, man, because it was like, yo, you had a whole couple months to just be free and have fun and, you know, be in the sun, you know. And I remember I got out of school and DeWanda went to Athelton with my cousin Eric, you know, so I call him E. So it was E, Butch, Lenny, Bruce. I said Lenny, Bruce, like not the comedian, but there was 2 people, Lenny and Bruce. And then who else was the other one? CB was with us probably then, and Corey. So I remember like they were like, yo, meet up at Butch house, because we getting ready to go have like this like big pillow fight, and then we're gonna go ride bikes, you know. So I like got home, I hustled home, and then I ran over to Butch's house or whatever. It's like the first time I went to his house. I went to Butch's house and knocked on the door, and DeWanda was there, you know. And then she let me in, and she's playing video games, you know. And I was playing. I forgot what game we were playing, but we were playing video games for like maybe like 15, 20 minutes. And I remember just thinking about, like, she was just like real quiet, you know what I'm saying? Like real reserved, you know. And we just played video games for like 20 minutes or whatever. And then when Eric and them came, I just ran over and I met him over at Lenny's house, and then we got in this big pillow fight, and that was the end of that night. But I remember DeWanda when she was young, she was round, man. She was kind of chunky, like she was round, you know. But I don't forget her face, you know. And I remember when I saw her again, like about 8 years ago, or about 10 years, maybe about 9 years ago, when I first moved to Orange County. When I first moved to Orange County, my man E came up to visit, and when he came to visit, he was like, yo, we gonna catch up with DeWanda. You remember DeWanda, right? I was like, I think I remember DeWanda. I'm not sure if I remember, because I didn't really know her by name like that. But I remember we met up, we drove and met her at Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. And sorry for the helicopter or the plane that's flying above. This thing is loud as shit. Are we at war? Damn, that shit sound like a warplane. Sorry for the disruption, but anywho, what happened? E was like, yo, yeah, we're gonna catch it. Come on, Dre, man, I did 2 come on Dre's in the first 15 minutes. It's gonna be an interesting episode. But we met up with Dewanda at Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles, and I saw her face. I was like, oh, I remember Dewanda. Yeah, I played video games at the house, and she was the chunky chick, man. She was like a little heavy set, you know what I'm saying, like a little round. But she was real cool, man. Like I'm not trying to snap, I'm not trying to joan, but I'm just saying that's how I remember. But the face, you never forget a face, you know. So I remember we ate at Roscoe Chicken and Waffles, man. And she kind of like had this look like things were getting ready to pop off for her. Like she just had that, like she had that Hollywood glow, you know. These little flies in here and stuff. Gotta get the flies out the kitchen. But anyways, now she had that little glow, man, where it was like, you know, she knew some shit was about to pop off. And then like the following season or the following year, I think that she was in an episode of 911, the show on Fox, and she had a pretty big role in that. And then she had a role, I think, in either Castle or in one of those like mystery shows or whatever, like a few years before that. So she's been inching her way up, you know. And then she did Gotta Have It, the Spike Lee joint, the remake. And then she was supposed to be in the pilot chick in Captain Marvel. But I'm not sure what happened with that role, you know. And then she was just in The Harder They Fall. So she's blowing up, man. So shout out to Dewanda, man. She's a superstar now, man. Shout out to her. It's dope, man, to see like someone that you knew like in your childhood, you know, make it, you know. Man, matter of fact, you guys are gonna think this is corny, but I was driving down, I think I was on La Brea. I was driving on La Brea, and they got these Jurassic World posters all over the place, man, you know, all over the streets. And there was a big one, like, on the wall, and it was the one right here that you're looking at, right? It was this one right here, if I can point to it. So I was at a stoplight, and I saw it, and I was like, man, I gotta take a picture of that. So I took a picture of it, and now I have it as my wallpaper on my phone, you know what I'm saying? So it's a reminder of like, hey, man, anything is possible. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, tripping with Theobold could be the next big thing, man. Matter of fact, it is going to be the next big thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's always good to feed off the energy of people of the past that you kind of knew and grew up around to kind of say, hey, look, man, if they can do it, you know, I can do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's all about motivation. It's all about hope, you know? So one other little funny tidbit about Dewanda that Eric told me. E told me this joint, man. And this is typically like, I can see this happening, right? But basically, so the reason why this is so like motivational is because Dewanda was always into acting, like from like middle school. You know, like when they were in high school, she used to do like all the plays and stuff, you know. And they would like clown her. They always like would like tease her, you know. Like she'd always want to go and do acting or whatever, or go do a school play. And everyone would be like, man, why you fucking with them plays, man? Man, she doing that acting shit, man. Get out of here with that, man. She gonna get in front of the school and act. And now look at her, man. She's in Jurassic World, man, for the world to see, man. So shout out to you, Dewanda, man. Shout out to following your dreams. Shout out to like, man, I don't even know what else to say, man. Like that's just dope, man. To see someone find what they like doing from an early age and they just keep doing it. And now they're doing it on the biggest scene possible. So I'm gonna get a ticket. I'm gonna go see that joint, man. Matter of fact, I'm trying to find the action figure doll. I want to get Dewanda's character's action figure. That's what I want to get, because that's gonna complete the circle, right? Like I remember her as a kid, like being a little young, chunky, quiet kid playing video games, acting. Now she's an action figure. You know what I'm saying? Like I gotta complete the whole revolution. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Dewanda. Okay, I'm taking a little longer than I wanted to. I'm already 20 minutes in, and let's get on with the next thing. Let me actually. I hate when I forget to do this. I gotta always get the chat in here. So let me get the chat added right quick. I got one person watching me, and it's probably me watching me. You know what I'm saying? So let me go ahead and click on this. Get the volume off. Hey, thanks T. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for the support with the diet. We're gonna talk about that diet in a second. You know what I'm saying? So let me go ahead and copy this joint. And then let me go here and put the chats up. Let me get the YouTube chat popping. Here we go. And then YouTube chat should be up. I see you, T. She said on the crazy diet. Well, the diet wasn't that crazy. I mean, and we'll talk about it because that's what today's episode is about. It's about this shred diet I was on. So what else we got going on? So let's go ahead and get into some DFS. You know, one of our favorite subjects, DFS. This is where we break down DFS. Albert, you don't remember Dwanda? Wow. Okay, Al. Well, ask E, because well, you know what, Al? I think you may have been a little old because you're older than me. I think you're like 1 year. If you know Butch, then you know Dwanda. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we'll talk. Okay. Yeah, we'll cover this offline. Okay, we'll cover this offline. But I'll keep reading the chat to see what else comes up in here. But yeah, she went to Atherton, man. She went to school with E and them. But what else we got, man? Let's go ahead and get into some DFS talk, right? Because you know me, whenever I'm trying to, if I can find two pennies to rub together to make a nickel, that's what I'm gonna do, and that's what I'm doing with DraftKings right now, and it's working out fabulously for me right now. I said fabulously. Is that even a word? All right, whatever. Here we go. So let me show you this bullshit, man. So I do the NBA showdown captain mode shit in DraftKings. And let me tell you my strategy, right? My strategy for this week was like on game 1, you could put up $20 and you could play for $1 million, right? So I was like, yo, bet. Let me put 20 up, see if I can't get $1 million. Then game 2, I tried to put up 20, and I didn't read the competition details that well, and I thought it was for $1 million, but it was for $250,000. It was for $250,000. So I said, man, I'm not gonna spend $20 for $250,000. I mean, $250,000 would be nice, but why not diversify? You know. So I said to myself, let me go ahead and I said with $20, they had $4 competitions, right, to where you could win $15,000. So I said, why not increase my odds and play 5 competitions at $4 a pop for a shot at $15,000? Because if I can hit $15,000, now I can reinvest that 15, not all of the $15,000, of course, that would be stupid, but I can reinvest a good portion or a decent number of it to take a couple stabs at the $250,000 one. Or if they bring back the milli, I can probably have like 20 shots to get $1 million, right? Look at this bullshit. So this is the result of my most of the competition from yesterday, right? What do you see? You tell me, what do you see? All right, let me go ahead and just break it down for you. All right, so as you guys can see, I played 5 lineups at $4 a piece, which was $20, and I won $20. So in other words, I ain't win shit. I was mad. I'm like, man, it's one of those things where it's a push, so I can go ahead and I can take that money back and try again in 4 different contests, right? But what are the odds that I win my money back exactly? $20. I put up 20 and win 20. So let's take a look at the data. All right. So let's take a look at this shit. Here's my lineup right here. If I can get it. 1 second. So here's my line. Here's a lineup that got me $8. Right. This is like my most winningest. This is the one that got me the most money. Like I said, I played 5 contests, and I think I won 3. I think I did. Yeah, I think I won 6 and 2. So 6 times 2 is 12 plus 8 is 20. So yeah. So I'm not going to show you the other ones, but I was 30 points off of $7,000. So they split the pot. You know, nobody won 15,000 outright. I think this looks like someone. I think maybe 2 people placed in first. But yeah. So I had Marcus Smart as my captain, and as you guys know, in Captain Showdown mode, you put up 1.5 times the amount of money to get 1.5 times the amount of points. So I had Marcus Smart, Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Wiggins, and then Looney. This motherfucker Looney, man, he played when he want to play, man. Like the data showed that he was supposed to put up 40, man. Right? He was overdue for a 40-point fantasy game, you know. And then Grant Williams versus Robert Williams. I mean, Robert Williams is kind of injury prone, so I couldn't really trust that. But if I would have played Horford instead of Looney, I could have probably been up to at least a couple hundred, you know. But anyways, that's that. So let's take a look at Clay. I wanted to look at Clay's stats, right? So if you look at the winning lineup, Klay Thompson was the captain. So excuse me. So when Klay Thompson was the captain, I didn't fool with that because Klay comes around towards the end of the series, right? So if you look at on May 13th against Memphis, which was the closeout game, game 6, I believe it was, he put up 51 fantasy points, and then on May 26th, he put up 44. So I was like, nah, I'm gonna hold off on Klay, and I'll play Klay around game 5, maybe game 4 at the earliest. But I don't know. I think Klay's peaking though. I think Klay about to go off, and if he doesn't go off next game, he'll definitely go off like in game 5, you know, or the later games. But I should have went with Klay, and I'm gonna show you why I should have went with Klay. So Klay's value was $7,200. He was going for $7,200 in the Showdown Captain mode, and if you look at it, if you just count, right? So look at June 8th, right? That's where he put up 39 fantasy points. If you look backwards, right? Every 2 games at least he puts up 30 or more, you know? So June 2nd, June 5th, okay, that was to set up for last night's game. And then when you look at May 24th, he put up 19, then on the 26th he put up 44. So if you look at the numbers, he doesn't go more than 2 consecutive games without putting up 30 points. So I should have played him at 30. And the goal is you want to take the 7,200 salary amount and then divide that by 200, and you'll get what, 3,600. So, if you divide, I can't do math right now. If you divide 7,200 by 200, you get 36, right? So anything over 36 is value, right? So I should have known that if he's going to get mid 30s, that's going to be right around value. But I knew Steph wasn't going to go off because Steph had 2 back-to-back 50-point games, 2 back-to-back 50 fantasy point games. He said Jordan Poole going to go off. Yeah, Jordan Poole going to go off. Yeah, we'll talk about that. You know, we'll talk about that. But Steph had 2 back-to-back 50 fantasy point games, and if you look at the data with Steph, whenever he goes back-to-back games with 50 fantasy points or more, he's gonna like fall off, and they're gonna want like 12,000 for the player, and he's not gonna even get 60. So now I'll pass on that, unless there's no value elsewhere, you know. So that's the key, right? Take the salary, divide by 200, and then be able to project if that player is going to reach value. If they're not going to reach value, try to find value elsewhere. And then if you can't find value elsewhere, then go for the most points with the remaining players that you have left, right? That's kind of like just common sense. Excuse me. But yeah, Jordan Poole is gonna have he's gonna have a 50 or a 60 fantasy point game. It's coming. It's coming. I looked at the data. Don't know exactly when yet, but it's coming because he's overdue. He's overdue for a 50 or 60 fantasy point game. Especially with Steph kind of struggling, So Jordan Poole gonna step it up. So anyways, that's that. What else we got going on here, man? Then in baseball fantasy, right? Because I do baseball fantasy. I try to take $1 here and 5 cent here, 20 cent here. I try to rub them together to get $5 and shit. But no good news in baseball for me this week, man. No good news. Like 2 weeks ago, I told y'all that I placed third in this 2000. I placed third in this 2,000 person competition, or this 2,000 man tournament. I put up $1 and I won like 60 off of that. And my dumbass gave it all back within a week. I should have taken my advice and like did the smaller pots, maybe like $5. I should have did multiple $5 tournaments or whatever, and tried to get some racks, but didn't do it because I was feeling too hot. Like I thought I figured it out, but I ain't figured shit out. So here's what happened in baseball, man. So this is some funny shit I'm gonna show y'all, man. I had me a Charlie Brown day last week, man. This shit was the Charlie Browniest of them all, man. Look at this shit. I put up 13 fantasy points. Like most players on average put up like, or good players put up like 15 or more. My whole roster put up 13 fantasy points. Terrible. But here's what happened. Here's why my shit messed up, right? So as you guys know, I don't mess with the rain. When it's baseball in the rain, I don't fuck with the rain, man. Even if I'm going to a live game, if they say it's a 10% chance of rain, I'm not going to that game because I don't have time to be sitting around waiting for a rain delay just for it to be a cancellation or to be a postponement. So this was a rain-heavy game, a rain-heavy day. I think in St. Louis, right? Because Goldschmidt was playing, and I was gonna pick Goldschmidt, but I saw the rain droplet next to his profile. I was like, nah, that's looking kind of moist. I can't have no moisture in my lineup, man. I need my shit to be dry and crisp. So I was like, nah, let me stay away from the rain game. So I just basically filtered out those rain games. And everyone here on the left, when the game started, it was like, I think it was partly sunny. It was partly sunny. There was a low projection of rain, but so typically in DraftKings you'll see like the icons for like that for the games, right? Like you'll see like for example, if it's raining, you'll see like a cloud with like rain coming down. If it's cloudy, you'll see a cloud, right? Or if it's sunny, you'll see a sun, right? So everyone on my column in the left, it was clear. But I had 3 players on the Guardians that didn't play because that shit got postponed, right? So I only had 3 people play. And of the 3 people I had play, only 2 people scored. So that's how it works sometimes in fantasy baseball, man. So, it is what it is, man. But I'm on to my new strategy. My new strategy is basically I'm paying attention to if players if they play better at home or if they play better on the road, right? Because if you look at some of their stats, there's some players that just go off in other people's ballparks, but they don't do shit at home, all right? And then there's some players that only go off at home and don't do shit elsewhere, right? So I'm kind of playing with that angle, and we'll see how it goes. Hopefully the rain doesn't bite me in the ass again, but that's baseball for you. That's why I put $1 here, $1 there. I don't be putting in no big money in baseball, because that shit is fluky. So anywho, that concludes the that concludes the DFS portion of the show. Now let's go ahead and get into shred, right? So as you guys know, I was doing the shred diet. That's why we in the kitchen, right? Because this is where the food is made. This is like you guys get it. But I did the shred diet because my energy was kind of messed up, right? Like I wasn't eating right. I was trying to eat the way I was eating back in college. I was eating bullshit. Like I was just eating goldfish, thinking I could get by on for goldfish and maybe some Panda Express for the day. Like I would get up, I wouldn't eat breakfast. I would just get up, eat a handful of goldfish, go work out, get the shakes and shit, and then come in and then have a Subway sub and then come back in or whatever. Curl up on the couch, eat some more goldfish and shit, Yeah, so I had a very poor diet, man. My diet wasn't what it needed to be, so I kind of was feeling my energy was down. So I went with shred because I did super shred a few years ago, and when I did super shred, I lost like 25 pounds in a month. But the problem with that diet is that diet is like not natural, That diet is it's not a natural diet. Like it's for basically if you have a photo shoot coming up or something that you got to look good for, you just do it. Shit is no joke. It's not that bad, T. It's not that bad. But super shred, that shit is crazy. Like, so super shred, you start off with like 3 meals, and like I think like 4 snacks or like 4 meals and 3 snacks throughout the day, and then towards the end, you eating like maybe like 4 snacks a day, like all spaced out, and that weight is just falling off of you, man. It's just falling off, So I remember, back when I was in Orange County, I was like a little chunky, man. I remember I got up to like I got up to 199. I never broke 200 pounds. Got up to like 199, and then I did the shred joint, and I got down to like 173. At the end of the month, And I told myself, I said, okay, now I'm gonna do the shred diet after this, and I didn't do shred after that at all. I didn't bother with it, and my energy got messed up, and that's where I was about a month and a half ago. That's where I was. So, anyways, hold on, there's something wrong in my kitchen. Let me fix something right quick. Give me 1 second. Okay, we back. I had to fix something. Had technical difficulties. You say you can see the results. Thanks, T. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Excuse me. Man, my throat getting scratchy. But anyways, let me go ahead and just give my little critique on the shred diet right quick, man. So before I do that, just a quick reminder, like this video, give it a thumbs up. You know what I'm saying? Tell a friend to tell a friend. Subscribe, all that fun YouTube stuff or Twitch stuff, you know what I'm saying? And then AT is where it's at on most forms of social media, so follow me. But anyways, when I was in college, as some of you guys may know, I was an athlete, ran track, tried to play football, and I couldn't get over 150 pounds for nothing. Like I was 149 pounds. I'm not picking my nose. My mustache is just itching right here. See that? I don't know what's wrong with my. Every time I start doing these pods and start talking, man, my nose itch and everything start itching and shit. So it's really weird. I don't know what that's about. But now when I was in college, I couldn't gain weight for nothing, man. Like I would eat like a pig. Like I would just go to breakfast and just eat pancakes and I would just be trying to throw everything down, man. Pancakes, just a pile on my plate like this of just food, and I would try to eat that so I could like, you know, at least be in the 160s when I'm playing football. So me and the kicker were like the same size, you know. So he weighed like maybe he was like me and the kicker were like the exact same size, the exact same height, exact same weight, and like he was my weightlifting partner and shit. Man, we would try to like out eat each other. That sound pause. We would try to like, you know, like eat more than everyone else, right? So it's just amazing how when I was in college I could eat all that shit and then not be able to gain a single pound. But now if I smell some Korean barbecue, motherfucking, I put on like 15 pounds. You know what I'm saying? So, but let's go ahead and critique the shred diet right quick. So as you guys know, this is the book that I was following. It's by Dr. Ian K. Smith. So here we are. All right. So let's look at, so first I want to talk about the criticisms of the diet, right? Because I want to be able to break down and then build up, right? Like I don't like to talk about the positives or build up and then tear down, because then we end on a negative, right? So I want to talk about like the criticism first. I want to talk about the cons first, then the positives, and I'll go into the lessons learned. But before I do, let me get a sip of this wine right quick, because you know I'm off my diet. All right, so criticisms. So I think the book needs to I think they need to like, you know, quantify the amount of food you need to buy ahead of time, right? Just in the beginning, just make a list of like, it needs to be more consolidated in like one place. So when I go shopping, I don't have to go around and waste time cause I wasted like a lot of time in the grocery store at first trying to find stuff. And I even read the book and took notes, but it would have been nice to like know like what all I need and what quantity, because man, there was one day, one of the things I had to eat was, it was one of the meals was a smoothie, but it was called the Green Machine smoothie or something like that. And man, that shit tastes like lawnmower grass clippings, man. Like that's some shit that when you are done like cutting the grass, that's what that shit smelled like, right? So I had basically it was kale, romaine lettuce, parsley sprigs, a little bit of mango, right? A little bit of apple, and some water. And then you had to like blend it up. And I had everything in the refrigerator, but when I put it in there in my blend tech, like it didn't like, you know, get it the first time, so I had to go back and reblend it. And when I did it, it purined it. Did I say it right? It purined it, where like it made it like a soup, and it was kind of hot, and I could smell it. Like it just smelled like I just finished cutting grass, man. You know, so I drank that shit, but I had to buy all. I bought like he didn't say to buy. He didn't say the quantity to buy. It was just like he made it think like he made you think that this was going to be a smoothie that you had to get or make like regularly throughout the week, but it was only for that one day. So I had all these parsley sprigs and all these hearts of romaine lettuce and kale that I didn't use, you know. So that's one thing, man. Like, cause like there's like a lot of food waste. Like there's like a lot of things where he only wants you to eat it like once, but you have to know to like try to find a small quantity of that ahead of time, you know, so you don't end up overspending and, you know, eating or wasting whatever you don't use, you know. Another criticism number two, or I said another criticism number two. Criticism number two is it would be nice if you like recommended a like some kind of like travel containers, you know, because when you're on the go and you have to eat like at specific times, like you can make all the stuff you want to make, but you got to make sure that you can transport it, you know. So it would have been nice to say, hey, look, we recommend that you get this whoop-de-whoop cooler and yada, 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 because if you're going to be on the run, you got to be able to grab and eat and grab and go, you know. So That was one thing. Man, I keep messing with my nose like I'm on that powder, but I'm not. My nose just itching, man. Why's my nose itching? What else we got? Okay, criticism number 2. It would be nice if you had like a downloadable menu, where you could like basically just have like a spreadsheet, so it's already there, so you can just go to one place. Because with the book, you kind of gotta like go to the chapters, and then you gotta know where to go in the chapters. So I have a Kindle. I was able to scroll through there and get there kind of quick, but it would have been nice if it's like, hey, here's a book with just the days, and then you can just kind of go to each day. I don't know. Maybe there's not a way to do it. But I know in the first week, I was trying to like write everything down in the morning in a spreadsheet, and it just takes way too long. Just if you got a Kindle, just grab your Kindle, and then make your shopping list in your phone or something. Go grab the stuff, and then when it's time to eat, just make it. And then also, criticism number 4 is. I would say it would be nice if he specified like the exact brands of soup and juice to get, right? Because he was kind of like vague on the soups, right? I mean, on the juice, right? He just said not from concentrate, you know what I'm saying? Make sure it's like, like a lemonade or orange juice or whatever. But it would have been nice if he like gave the exact brand and had the exact label stuff on there, right? But the soups were the hardest, man. Like I went to all these grocery stores, and he wanted you to like eat soups that had less than 480 milligrams of sodium per serving. Now you tell me, where in the fuck are you gonna find any type of soup with less than 480 milligrams of sodium? Like you go to a store and you tell me, because I swear I was in every aisle looking at every can, and every can like had like no less than like 620, maybe 640, but everything was like 1200 or more, and I'm just like, man, so where can I like? So I was like really trying to figure out like what type of soups he wanted me to get, and the only soup I could find towards the end that kind of met those requirements was tomato soup, right? Because tomato soup has like exactly 480 milligrams of sodium per serving. Yeah, so it would have been nice if he like called out specific brands that had that. Now in Ralph's, there was this one soup that I used to mess with when I did the shred diet, or no, when I did super shred. There was this one soup called Mr. McDougal's. And I don't know what happened to Mr. McDougal's, man, but Mr. McDougal's, his tomato soup was popping. Mr. McDougal, look, it came in a box, right? And it had like a little screw off cap. Man, that soup was hitting, but I can't find that soup nowhere, man. And that soup, I think that had maybe like 380 milligrams of sodium in it. But man, matter of fact, when I'm done with this YouTube, or when I'm done with this show, I'm gonna go on YouTube. I'm gonna go on Google, and I'm gonna see if I can't find this Mr. McDougal's tomato soup, man, because that shit was popping, man. So those are my criticisms of the book.
Well, anyway, you may be saying about now.
It's time to eat, almost. Man, my nose is still itching me, man. So those are my criticisms. Let's now get into the positives, right? Let's build up what's good about this diet, right? So the positive number 1 is I lost weight, right? Better energy. So I lost 12 pounds. I started out at like 188 when I weighed myself the first week, and then this past Monday when I weighed myself again, I was at 174 or 173. So I lost around 13 or like 12 pounds. So that's a good positive. Like, you see some kind of results. And also I didn't starve myself, like that was one thing about this diet, is that you don't starve yourself. There's some days when you do have like cravings like at night, but that's like maybe 1 or 2 days. But other than that, there's no cravings with this. This is like more of like a lifestyle, you know. So you can keep doing this like periodically to keep keep shredding that weight off. What else is positive, man? I formed good eating habits or good eating patterns, right? Like now I know. So you guys just heard my alarm go off, right? So that's my alarm I set to eat, right? So my alarms go off at specific times of the day, and I've gotten into such of a habit that when the alarm goes off, if it's meal one, I kind of already know what I'm going to eat, right? It's probably going to be like some grapefruit, maybe like a bowl of cream of wheat or a bowl of oatmeal, some orange juice, maybe some like berries, or I might just have a smoothie with some orange juice, you know. I might start each of those meals off with some what's that shit called? Hibiscus tea, you know what I'm saying? Or I might have some lemon water with some flaxseed oil in it. Like I just kind of like know what to eat at certain times, right? Then snacks, I kind of already know, like 9 Ritz crackers or 40 goldfish or 50 goldfish, you know, maybe a graham cracker with some peanut butter, maybe some almonds, you know what I'm saying? Then when it's meal 2, meal 3, it's probably gonna be a sandwich or something like that, and maybe a small salad and something to drink or some juice. You know, so I kind of know like so as you do the plan, you kind of like know like what is coming next, you know. So I've kind of like gravitated towards that, you know. So that's cool. What else? What else is another positive? Yeah, I found out all the good foods I was missing out on, man. Man, I missed out on man. Who didn't tell? Yo, how come no one told me about blackberries, man? Young blackberries are good, man. I'm about to turn into a little bear. Man. I'm about to turn into a cub, man. Because blackberries be hitting, man. Now, raspberries are nasty. I can't mess with raspberries. Blueberries, man, they're okay. But blackberries is where it's at, man. I could eat them things all day. So I think blackberries are in my top 2 fruits now, man. You know, like my number 1 fruit is going to be grapefruit. Like grapefruit to me is like the best fruit. And then blackberries. Like those are my 2 favorite fruits, man. And what else we got? Almonds. I kind of knew about almonds already, but almonds are kind of nasty because they're kind of bland. But if you eat about 20 of them, or if you eat them in like small amounts, they kind of like hold you over, you know. So that's the good part about almonds. What else? Ritz crackers. I forgot about Ritz crackers and how good those are. You know, like 9 of those is about 140 calories. So that's a good little snack. You know what I mean? Tomato soup. I'm back on it, man. Because at first I was like more like. So at first I thought I was more of like a chicken noodle soup kind of dude, but man, I'm a tomato soup dude, man. I'm a tomato soup guy all the way around. And then graham crackers with like a dab of peanut butter and some cinnamon. Like all those little snacks are good snacks, right? So I've learned to diversify my snacking, you know. So I'm not just eating goldfish, you know. Like now I got goldfish, I got almonds, I got blackberries. You know what I'm saying? I got graham crackers, and there's a lot of different snacks out there that I need to be diversifying myself with, so I'm not eating just goldfish. Then what else? Another positive is my workouts are like more meaningful now, right? Now it's like I'm not wondering if I'm not eating right? Like if you work out, like I would kind of do where I used to go to like Subway or eat like fast food, or eat what's something else? Panda Express, and then go to the gym and try to work it off. And then I'm guessing to myself, man, because when you're working out, like your brain starts to really like kind of kick in, and it tries to kind of like try to think for you, right? Like when you're like working out, your brain is like, you know, kind of like it's kind of like going through and negotiating with your body, right? It's like making a negotiation with your body. It's kind of like saying, hey man, do you want me to make this extra push? Is it even gonna be worth it? Because you just ate some bullshit before you came to work out. So is it even gonna even matter? You know? And then when you have those little doubts in your head, you tend to be like, you know what? I'm not gonna go for it. I'm just gonna kind of throttle down and throttle back. But when you eat right, it's like I felt like, man, I ate everything I could. I ate the best I could. So I'm going for it, you know? Yeah, so I felt like my workouts were like more meaningful, you know, because of that. So those were the positives. So what are lessons learned from the shred diet? So lessons learned are mason jars. Mason jars, mason jars, mason jars, mason jars, man. These things right here, the wide mouth mason jars, these things came in handy, man. Matter of fact, I'm about to order some more. Like if you want to like carry some soup, like if you want to travel with some soup or beans or like rice or like your vegetables, man, you put these things, you put this thing in here, you put the lid on, you turn that cup upside down. Them things ain't going nowhere. Like nothing coming out of a mason jar, you know. So it's just really, really, really convenient, you know. Another thing too about mason jars is they have the measuring amounts on. They have the actual measurements on the side, right? So I save time, right? I don't have to measure because everything is measured in this diet plan, right? So when you measure everything out, when you have like a measuring cup, when you have to measure it in a cup and then pour it into another cup, that wastes time, right? But if you can do it in just one cup, boom, you save time, you know? Man, my nose is itching me like I don't know what. Man. This is gonna be the itchy nose episode. Like, I don't know why my nose all of a sudden is starting to itch. Like all day long I had no itch in my nose, no itch. Now it's like every time I move, it's like I get an itch. But let's stay focused, all right? But real quick, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, tell a friend, all that fun stuff. What else we got, man? So another lesson learned is to set your meal and snack alarm 10 minutes before it's time to eat. Because when you set it when it's time to eat, it's probably going to take you like 10 minutes at least to gather what you prepared already to eat it. And you want to be able to eat at that time, you know? So make sure that you make sure that you set your alarm for like 10 minutes before it's time to actually eat, you know? And that also includes snacks too, you know? Make sure you do it for snacks as well too, because you want to be able to grab and not have to be like panicking like, oh, am I gonna miss my meal because, oh shit, like am I gonna make sure you do that. What else? If you're gonna do this diet, make sure you plan it out between major holidays and events, you know, because I had like 2 or 3 events that I had to go to that had great food, but I couldn't eat because I was on my diet, you know. Had this barbecue I went to, man, they made all this meat, man. They had all this good meat, man. I wanted to eat something, man, but I was already in on my diet. So my goal is my long-term goal with this is to do this like 4 times a year, right? Because you got to think about it, right? It's 52 and a half weeks in a year, right? So if you do the math, that's like 54, right? Then 54 divided by I think I'm doing my math right. I think that works out to about 9 weeks a quarter, right? That's about 9 weeks a quarter. So my goal is to be able to do this like 4 times a year, because that means in 1 quarter I'm gonna have 3 weeks to myself, and I'm gonna work towards that, But right now, I'm enjoying the moment right now, enjoying this little victory that I made it through 1 cycle. But I'm probably gonna do it again. I'm gonna do it such that it ends the week before Labor Day. because I know Labor Day is a holiday. People are probably going to be cooking out. So I got to look at the calendar, and I'll probably start it again then, just to be more strict. I'm already kind of doing it now. Like when I'm at home on my own, I kind of still follow the plan. But when I go out, if there's good food, I'm gonna eat it. But I try to I'm trying to like make sure I keep some of the good habits, right? Like one good habit is not eating like late. You know, like it's always good to like have your last meal like around 8:30, and then eat again at 8:30 the next day. So you give your body like 12 hours to actually fast and get rid of, or to break down and digest what you've eaten, you know? So this book has like shown me like one positive thing I probably forgot to mention in this book is that it kind of like reinforces good eating habits, you know? Like it basically tells you not just what foods are good to eat, but it tells you when to start eating, how to space your meals out during the day, when to stop eating, you know, all that shit, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm saying it's a diet plan that they probably need to put in schools again, because in school, you know, motherfuckers ain't eating right in school, man. They eating chocolate milk and juice, you know? Anytime you can trade, you know, your nutrients, like your legumes and all your barleys and wheat, and you trade all the vegetables, and you can get six chocolate milks and give away all of your nutrients, man. You drinking just sugar. That's not doing nothing for your diet, man. So I think they need to bring this back into schools so kids like learn how to eat properly, you know? But what else, man? Lesson learned. One thing I'm gonna do too, I'm gonna do it when I get back from Buffalo. But I'm gonna organize my cabinet to where I have my snack calories all lined up, right? So like one shelf is gonna be 150 calorie snacks. Second shelf is gonna be 100 calorie snacks, you know, and they're already gonna be in containers, right? So for example, I know about 40 goldfish is 100 calories, right? And 50 goldfish is like 150 calories, right? So I want to be able to have different containers on different shelves that's already where everything's already all poured out, and I'm just grabbing snacks, you know, at the time to go. Because to count out snacks right when it's time, that's kind of time consuming, you know. Oh, and one other lesson learned is yeah, when it comes to eating like grilled chicken, just do yourself a favor and just get the frozen chicken strips, man, that are microwavable. Get the frozen chicken strips that are microwavable. It will save you a whole lot of headache, man. I remember the first week I went out and actually got like chicken from the butcher, you know, and I remember like when it was time to eat, I would have to like wait up. Like basically I would start an hour before it was time for me to eat, where I would basically get the chicken, I would try to season it, prep it, do all this stuff, then put it in the oven, and then take it out. And not only that, I had to like weigh it, right? Because you have to weigh out the chicken, right? So I weighed out, it's like 5 ounces you have to like weigh out. But week 2, I kind of figured it out. I was like, nah, I'm probably better off just getting chicken strips and just weighing those out and putting those in separate Ziploc bags. So that way, when it's time to eat, I can just grab those, throw them in the microwave, eat them, boom, done. You know what I mean? So those are my lessons learned. My future plans with the shred diet is, like I said, I'm gonna try to stay on track at home. Like when I'm here at home, I'm gonna try to stick to my eating pattern of eating like spaced out snacks, spaced out meals, eating more of the brown rices, you know, eating more fruit in the morning, you know, shit like that. But then when I'm out, I'm gonna enjoy myself. Like I'm gonna like, you know, enjoy myself, but I'm also not gonna overeat. And I'm gonna also make sure I try to stop eating before, or I have my last meal at 7 o'clock, right? You know, my last meal has to be at 7. I want to stick to that. And then, like I said too, I'm gonna probably do another cycle of the shred diet, probably like sometime like late July, either late July or but it's gonna end before Memorial Day. I mean Labor Day. You know, I messed up. I'm gonna do it such that it ends before Labor Day. So where are we at, man? We're at an hour and 5 minutes. I'm about to talk about two more things right quick, and then I'm gonna call it a day. So, as you guys know, with the recent mass shootings that's been going on, I've been exercising my Second Amendment by taking up classes and just thinking about how am I going to get a firearm, right? Like legally, you know? So I did one class already where it's kind of an introduction to like firearms or whatever. It was a good introductory class, but there's a lot of stuff you got to do to get a firearm legally, and then there's even more stuff you got to do to get your CCW, you know? So that's like a 5-year plan. But with how things are going and the rate things are going, you got to protect yourself, man. You can't be worrying about the police trying to protect you, because they're not going to do that shit, you know. And it's not their job, you know. A lot of people, I know it sounds fucked. I know it sounds messed up, but the police, on the side of their vehicles, it says to serve and protect, right? And that's just what's the word I'm looking for? That's just pillow talk, man. That's just something that sounds nice, right? It's just it's verbal origami, right? That's what that shit is, you know. It's wordplay, right? To serve and protect. Most people think, oh, that's to serve and protect people. It doesn't say that, you know. It could be serve and protect property, right? It could be to serve and protect the law, right? So it's that half nothing burger ass statement that they use to make people feel safe, right? But here's something to think about, right? Policemen are not firemen. Let me say that again, because I kind of stuttered that out. Policemen are not firemen, right? So if you remember your SAT days, you had these things called analogies, right? And whenever you did an analogy, you had to be able to replace the word in the sentence, and it had to still make sense, right? Right? So let's take a look at a fireman, right? What does a fireman do? A fireman's job is to attack the blaze and put the blaze out as fast as possible, right? So when you put cop in there, right, and then you put crime, a cop's job is not to go and attack the crime and put the crime out as soon as possible. That's not the job of a police officer, right? If you look at their code of conduct book and their rules and regulations, whatever the shit is called, the job of a police officer is to investigate a potential crime to determine if a crime has been committed. That's it. So cops are really nothing more than a glorified librarians or custodians of the law, you know? But they're given like a lot of power to enforce the law, which to me is a problem in law enforcement. But whatever, I'm not here to talk about that today. But just know that police are not there to protect you. Or I remember one time I was at my mom's house and we thought someone was breaking in the house. And my mom was like, call the police. Call up. I'm like, for what? So they can come and get the burglar. I'm like, Mom, that's not how this shit work. If you call the police, either one, two things gonna happen. Either one, they gonna come in the house and think we the people breaking in the house and they gonna shoot us both. Or two, they gonna wait until it's clear and we long dead and gone, and then they'll come and investigate to determine if a crime has been committed, right? So with that being said, it's your responsibility to own and to be responsible for your own safety, right? Which is what I'm looking at right now, right? So with me knowing that it's going to take me about 5 years to get a concealed carry the way I want to, and then go stock up after that, I got to look at the next best thing while I'm going down that path, right? So the next best thing I thought was a taser. And tasers are very, very confusing, right? Like, one, they're less lethal. They're less lethal than guns, right? So they can still kill somebody, but they're probably not going to. And my scenario is basically if I'm trapped somewhere where there's a mass shooting going on, my number one goal is to determine where the shooting is coming from and then run away from it. And then two, like, I'm trying to hide to where I'm not made out. And if the shooter is coming, if he's going away from me, if I have a clear shot to take a tase, I want to take a tase at the dude to go and subdue him. And then if it's successful, you know, typically a taser is supposed to like cause muscle lockup for 30 seconds, right? Or disable the perp for 30 seconds. And when it does that, if that's enough time for me to kick the gun away and go hog tie the bastard, then I'll do that shit. But if it's like, if I don't think I can get to him in time to go do that, I just bought us all time to get out, right? So that's the situation where I would want to use a taser. But I would not try to go hunt down somebody with a taser. Like, that's not what a taser is for. But anyways, I'll probably do a whole episode on tasers, man, because there's a lot of shit, man, that's real controversial. Like, this shit just don't make, I mean, when it comes to traveling with a taser on a plane, they're like saying, oh, because it has a lithium ion battery or whatever, you can't bring those on planes because they could catch fire. You can't even pack them on a plane, right? So you can't even travel in a lot of cases with a actual a taser unless you can remove the lithium ion battery, you know. But then it's like, you know, it's a lot of stuff. It's like a lot of shit, man, that you got to worry about when it comes to carrying a taser, you know. And then also, when you look at the demo videos of tasers, they have the person shooting the perp, and when they're done, they put the taser down and then they run away from the taser. I'm like, nigga, I paid $500 for that fucking taser. If this shit could make this dude lock up for 30 seconds, I got time to pop out this cartridge and run. Like, I'm not paying another $500 for a fucking taser. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of things with tasers, because I was actually gonna buy one and have it sent to my house now to go to Buffalo with. But when I started reading the rules and the regulations, and I looked at what TSA said versus what airlines say, there's a good chance I might not be able to get on the plane, even if it's packed in my pack luggage, you know. So got to do more research on that. I'll probably do an episode on that. But real quick, let me go ahead and get on this comedy bump right quick, right? So this is the comedy bump portion of the show where I kind of just give like a little tidbit, you know, for all you soon-to-be comedians, or if you want to get in this game, what type of shit you got to worry about, or what you got to think about, you know. So when you get into comedy, right, here's one thing you got to worry about, right? So like comedy bump, okay, here's one thing you got to worry about, right? You gotta know what you're going up against, man. You gotta know like how the table is stacked against you when you're like any stage you go in, any room you walk in. You gotta know how it's stacked up against you, because they'll do little fuck shit at these shows that I've come to be made aware of, where I'm like, oh, okay, this is why things went the way they went. So, I did this one show, you know, and they had bigger name people on the show, people that have way more followers than me and that actually get booked, and they do this, like, they do stand-up comedy for a full-time living. And I was one of the first people to go up, right? They threw me up or whatever, right? When they threw me up, I had no intro music, and the microphone was at a certain level. So I get up there, I do my jokes, And, you know, I get my laughs, you know. But I know I'm working to get these, like I have to work to get these laughs. Like a lot of times, a lot of jokes I do, I already kind of know how well they're going to be received, you know. So I know some jokes are going to be very, very well received. And then when I do them and they don't get the response I think, I don't let it stun me, but I'm just like, oh, okay. But I just pay attention to, okay, yeah, I got to work tonight. Okay, cool, no problem. And there's nothing wrong with working, you know. Like I have no problem with going into a venue where people aren't feeling me and I have to break down that castle, you know. But I remember when I did this show, I went up, like I said, I went up there with no music, and the mic level was set at a certain level. Then when bigger name people started going up, all of a sudden there was a fucking DJ. I'm like, yo, where did the fucking DJ come from? Oh, this shit is loud. Man, I can't even hear myself think. Wow, okay. And then when the person is on stage doing their jokes, it's like they're not even trying to project themselves. It's just their voice is in my chest. I'm like, nigga. So I'm like, oh, I get it. These are the things they do. Like, these are little things you gotta think about, right? So it's not just about being funny, but it's like you gotta know how the chips are stacked up against you, you know. So whenever I go into a room, I always assume that nobody's ever heard of me. They gonna have the mic level on a low level for me. They gonna fuck my name up. They ain't gonna bring me up to no intro music. And when I get up there, I have to anticipate things going wrong. That's the beauty of, that's the thing, that's one of the number one rules in comedy. You have to expect things to go wrong. And the more you expect things to go wrong, the more you will be prepared to have a response for when things go wrong. So, now that I know that, it's like I move different, right? I'm like, okay, how they gonna try to fuck me over in this show? Okay, I get it. Okay, how can I play off of that? You know what I'm saying? And then if you can like get motherfuckers off you in that situation, all it's gonna do is make you stronger. So I don't shy away from those moments. I'm not complaining. I'm not gonna blog about it. But I'm just saying that these are things to be aware of. So, anywho, that's my comedy bump of the show. So real quick, like I said before, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, tell a friend to tell a friend, do all that fun YouTube, Twitch stuff. You know what I'm saying? AT is where it's at on most forms of social media. So follow me. So what's coming up next? What's coming up next for little old me? What's coming up next? So as you guys know, there will be no show on the 16th and the 23rd because I'll be in Buffalo handling some business. So no show on the 16th and the 23rd. So thanks to my listeners that tuned in. Also, during this hiatus that I'll be on this 2-week hiatus that I'll be on, I'm gonna be working on show upgrades. All right, come on, Dre. Gotta upgrade the show, man. I gotta work on these upgrades, man. So things to look out for, things that are coming are I'm gonna have a show intro video. So hopefully it's not just gonna be a black screen with Trippin with Theobold. It's gonna be a whole video production. So I'm gonna be working on that. I'm gonna have a YouTube trailer for all my new listeners. So when they come to my channel, they'll know what my show is about, real brief, so they can decipher if it's gonna be for them or not. Also, I'm gonna get the ball rolling with getting this album artwork done, right? Because I want to be able to put this on Spotify and all these other Apple Music. I want to be able to put this podcast on all platforms, right? So one of the things I need to do is I need to have nice album artwork, nice crisp album artwork, you know. So I'm already talking to a few people. I'm working on a few deals right now, but I'm gonna have my podcast album artwork. I'm gonna have all my social media artwork. It's all gonna be upgraded, you know, so it can be available on all streams. I need to also work on some more promo stuff. So you'll probably see some like ads and stuff on YouTube, and not YouTube, but you'll probably see some ads and things on all my social medias. So even though there won't be a Trippin' with Theobold show on the 16th and the 23rd, just know that we will be under construction and we will be coming back bigger and better than ever. Because all we do is we improve. It's all about progression. The wrong way. Yeah, this way. Yeah, it's all about progression. It's all about progression, right? So anyways, like I said, one more time, man, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, tell a friend to tell a friend. AT is where it's at on most forms of social media, as you guys can see below. So follow me. So with all that being said, thanks for tuning in, and ba-deep. That's all, folks. I'm out of here. Peace. Yep. Trippin' with Theobold.
Let's go.
Caliente.
Trippin'. Yep. Trippin'. Trippin'. Trippin' with Theobold.
Trippin' with Theobold.